Alright, so I'm coming on here because I'm going to have to split this video up into two parts. And this is the first part where I'm laying the foundation. And I go into an individual's live who claims evolution through embryology. And if you ever know anything about evolution through embryology, that lie was told 150 years ago by a man named Ernest Haeckel. And I do a whole teaching on that. You're free to go check it out. But I want you to notice the end of this video is the host appears to call in quote-unquote a ringer. This is a guy who claims that he debates creationist. So at the end of the video, he calls this guy in. So the first part of this video, part one, what you're about to watch now, is just me laying the foundation. So check this out.
You're just having fun playing a contrarian.
All right.
Let me show you an example. Do we have anybody in the chat watching right now that disagrees with the prompt and thinks that they're smarter than a fifth grader? Because I would love to play with you.
We do. Creation, what is your age for...
We're all going to shout at the same time when you come up.
I'm 42.
And your thoughts on the prompt?
No, we won't, I promise.
Yeah, you evolution through embryology.
You can drop. If someone wants to come up, you can drop me. Space, you can drop me.
No, you're good, Steve, you're good. Yes, embryos usually look a lot alike in the womb.
You know Haeckel lied, right? Like this was proven lie 150 years ago?
So this isn't from Haeckel. This has actually been proven by embryology because animals look a lot alike in the womb. Did you know in a certain stage in human birth you have gills?
No.
Yes, you do. That's where your jaws form from.
Yeah, so they're jaws, not gills. They're not functional gills. They don't look like gills.
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
so you said Haeckel, and no, they're not gills. Gills have this not functional gills, mother. You're talking about the folds that we have, and when you say that we,
why did you call me mother?
I said brother. Weird. I said brother.
We don't have a functional tail either, yet we still have leftover tail bone.
No, it's not vestigial.
I heard we all assholes.
The tailbone is not vestigial. It's actually anchor points for your reproductive organs. So it never was a tail. It's a coccyx that forms as a coccyx. It never forms as a tail. It's a coccyx. But going back to Haeckel, when you said that we resemble these things, we actually got photos of them in 1996. We know that he actually lied about the drawings, and we do not resemble each other. And the fish and a human don't look nothing alike in their embryonic stages.
Yes, they do.
Oh, would you like me to show you the pictures?
A dolphin looks a lot like a human. A human looks a lot like a pig.
That's great.
So on and so forth. We had proof. We had images yesterday. The rest of the panel had images shown. Yeah, Coda, I heard it too.
Right.
But yes.
Right. So a dolphin.
We brought up the images already.
All right. So you brought up the fish, the picture of the fish versus the human. Because they don't look nothing alike. A dolphin breathes air. We're talking about the gill slits and stuff like that. That's where we were at. Now you're wanting to go to a dolphin. So a fish has the gill slits.
Embryology. It shows that we look a lot alike. We look a lot like dolphins. We look a lot like pigs. We look a lot like horses. We look a lot like cattle. We look a lot.
That's not true, though. We can go in there and look at the actual photos. It's not true. You could see some similarities, but looking alike is not the same thing. Like certain of these things have big bulges on them and certain don't. Like humans have what they call like a heart case or something like that sticks out from the stomach. Now it is true that we have a lot of these, the ridges that you see that becomes different parts of our jaw and parts of our neck, but it's not the same. Just because these ridges look the same in us and they look the same in fish and therefore they become gill slits in fish and they become parts of our jawbone doesn't prove universal common ancestor, and it doesn't even prove commonality.
It absolutely does. Yes, it does.
Really?
Okay, so things that look alike. All right, so things that look alike. Hold on one second. Let me land this.
We both process oxygen, just that the way that our body processes that oxygen for us turns different.
Right. So things that look alike must mean they evolved from each other. So if I have a spoon, a spork, a salad fork, and a fork, and I line them all up in that order. And I said, look, this spoon right here started off millions of years ago, and now it's starting to get these little ridges on it, and it's turning into a spork slowly over time. And then I put the salad fork beside that and say, look, here's a 3-pronged fork. It's actually evolved, and it's evolved into what it's the four-pronged fork right here over time. I literally just lined those things up by their shapes and said, look, they've evolved. That's what you're doing here, just because you're saying they kind of resemble each other in these things, but they actually don't.
Equivalency and never actual examples that work.
What?
Creator, you seem to have a good idea and a good handle on anatomy. Can I just ask you one just quick question?
Sure.
How many holes does a woman have below her belly button?
Technically 3.
Okay, good job.
All right,
You'd be surprised how many guys get that wrong.
Okay, so here's your fish. This is what Haeckel drew. There's an actual picture of the fish. Don't look anything like what Haeckel drew. There's the salamander, there's the turtle, there's the chicken, the rabbit, and here's the human, right?
No,
so these things right here are what you're calling. You guys can see it, right?
No.
You guys can't see my camera?
No. Now we can.
Oh, I apologize. I thought it was on. Okay, I apologize. So here's the fish that Haeckel drew. Here's the actual photographs taken in 1997. Here's the salamander. There's the actual photographs. There's the turtle. There's the actual photograph. There's the chicken. There's the actual photograph. They actually had to unfold the chicken in an effort to make it look more like Haeckel's drawing. There's the rabbit. Now, what you're talking about is these little lines right here, right? You're saying that those turn into actual gill slits. Here it is on the human. This is what a human embryo looks like. Doesn't look anything like a rabbit. You can see this different heart case, and it definitely doesn't look anything like a fish. So if we're supposed to start off in our earliest embryonic stages, Haeckel made these drawings up. He was actually tried by his university. Now, this is a point of contention. Some people actually believe that he wasn't tried, but there is some documentation in some books. Some people just don't believe the books. Whether you believe it or not, it appears that he was tried by his university and actually found guilty for lying. Whether he was tried or not is irrelevant because we know he lied. Here's his drawings. Here's the pictures. We do not have gill slits. This is evidence through embryology. It was proven lie 150 years ago, and you have it on your live today, sir. A lie that was proven wrong 150 years ago.
That embryo there, from second from bottom, he had a
this
good
one?
night out. No, the other one with the one with the big belly.
Oh, that's a salamander.
Yeah, he had a great night out. Drunk as
Yeah, he lied about it. So, I mean, here's the fish, and clearly the fish don't even look like the fish. Now, we're supposed to start off in this stage, and this is what the evidence was supposed to show, that in our earliest stages, we all look alike because in our earliest embryonic stages, this is literally the evolution through embryology, this is what it teaches, that our earliest embryonic stages, we all look alike, so therefore we're similar. This is the claim that you literally just made. And no, we don't. This is a lie.
Where's the big fat ones in them?
It's a lie. We don't look alike.
Oh, okay. No, they don't. But he looks like he's having a good time.
Well, sure, but I mean, I think if we're going to use evidence for science, then we shouldn't use known lies that was proven a lie 150 years ago. This is not even new stuff. This was a lie. Embryology was proven wrong 150 years ago, guys.
Was it? Interesting. Considering whenever you look up the sources that we've read, they've shown embryology throughout time.
Well, I mean, I can't help it. They're hanging on to it. But, I mean, that's literally, I showed you Haeckel's drawing. I can give you the source. That's 1847, Haeckel's drawings.
And I'm not
1997 was a picture.
In this anyways.
Evidence through embryology is literally, and you stated that we all look alike in our earliest stages. You even said gill slits, brother. That's Haeckel.
We do. The humans have gills.
They do not. They don't have gills. I can show you the picture again. That's not gill slits, brother. Saying that we have folds in the neck is not gill slits.
Does the word functioning come in to that?
Yeah, they're not. They don't function at all. They're not functioning gill slits at all. It's literally just the ridges that I showed you earlier, where it shows like the little bumps, and they're saying that these are gill slits. They're not. They're just not gill slits at all. They're literally little bumps, not gill slits.
Could they have been?
Could they have been gill slits? No, because they don't develop into gill slits. Yeah, so it's kind of hard to say.
Men have nipples, and they tend to be non-functional.
Okay, that's not gill slits though. So if to say that they could have been gill slits implies that they were gill slits earlier and then later became something else. But we can see in the earliest embryonic stages that they do not become gill slits.
You know where they come from?
Do I know
Like
where they
why?
come from? It's part of
Yeah,
it's something to do with it goes into your jaw and parts of your throat.
That's not an answer. That's I think
Well-
a thing about a thing. No. Like, have
Well,
you ever researched what the evolutionary purpose of them is?
Yeah, I literally just answered that. It goes into your jaw. That's the purpose. It goes into your jaw. Those little ridges that you've seen that
Yeah.
he's interpreting as gill slits literally go into your jaw and parts of your neck, if I'm not mistaken.
No.
Those are
yeah,
pharyngeal. Those are pharyngeal gills or arches.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
they're-
called pharyngeal
ca-
arches.
So you guys
Okay.
are
Okay.
kind of both right. You guys are both kind of right?
They're
Well, I'm not-
pharyngeal arches. But what
Mhm.
I'm asking you is, what is their purpose? Why do you think they are there, and where do they come from?
Thank you.
So I've answered the purpose like 3 times. You just say that I'm not. The purpose of them is to go into the jaw because that's what they do. So that's the purpose. I don't understand why
To
you're not.
do a
I'm
thing
missing
because that's. Oh, sorry, hold on. To do a thing because that's what they do.
You're
It's
asking
not
me
an
the
answer.
You're asking me the purpose, brother. I don't know how to answer it other than the purpose. That's the purpose. I don't know why we're not
To
getting
go
that. That's
into
the
the jaw
purpose.
because that's what they do.
That's literally the purpose. That's the definition of it. I can't help it that you don't disagree. You
Well, do
disagree
you
with it,
see
but that's
where
literally
you-
what it does.
Do you see where you
at
might
the
be
screen.
missing
Look
the
at the screen,
point?
please.
Okay, so
Of the
here's
Yeah,
the.
good
the-
job on that.
But hold
Good
on.
job
Here's
that.
here's the
I was gonna
evidence,
do
right?
that.
Look at
So
the
you,
screen, please.
I will. Hold on, but let me finish landing this, and I promise you, I'll engage with you.
No.
Wait, hold on. I
No,
can't.
no, no,
I
no.
can't engage
That's the
with what he
host.
just said.
That's the host. No, it's just the host. So we're respectful,
I-
and we're
I
gonna be
know.
nice.
Don't
to
worry
him.
about it.
I'm
gentle.
absolutely just like I said. When you asked for evidence,
You
I
need me to
gave you
read
the
it to you?
evidence. No, I
You
can look at it,
didn't,
but
but it doesn't
so
matter.
is Google the arbiter of truth now? Just because Google agrees with you, does
Science
that
and
make
culture.
that make me wrong?
This comes from science and culture. So yes, it is a verified source.
Okay, so what I gave you was also a verified source. So now that's why we got to contend with the evidence. I understand that Google and science culture is going to disagree with me. That doesn't make it true.
A verified
Is a
source.
cited source.
I gave you the cited source. It's literally,
Science
guys. That's an
and
argument. That's an
culture.
argument from majority. So you got to contend with the argument, not just say a really lot of smart people agree with me. If every one of the smart people agree with you, that wouldn't mean it was true. You have to contend with the argument. Not now. You can bring sources like you did. I got no problem with
I
that.
got you. I got you.
But you
I'm gonna make
have
it
to
more.
actually contend with the argument, which is what I'm doing. And so I brought you sources too, like Haeckel, and then I showed you the drawings, and I can give you the actual more than that if you want. I can give you more sources, but I actually gave you the source too. So we got competing sources, so we have to contend with the argument and not just say that really smart people agree with me, so therefore I'm right.
Hey man, we're glad you're here. Like, don't get us wrong.
Oh no, I'm not. I didn't take any offense to it. But
I hope you didn't. Can
No, I didn't.
can I just? So let's just read through this real quick, and then I'll throw mine up too, if that's okay. Instead, they form folds in the throat region called pharyngeal arches, like I said, but they're also called gills, which are remnants of our deep evolutionary past. These arches resemble structures developed into fish gills, but they don't, because obviously they're not, right? Instead, they go a different way, reflecting our shared common ancestor in humans. They are repurposed to form parts. Okay.
Mhm.
So, like, I'm not gonna like try and read to you like a baby, but and then
No, I
like
understand.
I brought this up. I brought this one up too. If I could switch with you, just creation, just real quick, is that okay?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not a mod, so I can't switch it.
I
Just
can't
for a
either.
second, so you can see it. So what? I went deep dive in AI just for this little part, which says that this turns instead of the gills. So picking up on what your host gave you, the deep dive in like the $100 plus model of AI, just quick, when I can give you the sources if you want them, goes into the fact that instead of gills, they develop into the jaw and the middle ear bones, which have those hairs in them, and turns into a hammer and all that, right? And then
Right.
the throat, which is those lines,
Mhm.
and nerves and blood vessels. So instead of going into gills, they go into this. But they do, in fact, quite literally start off the same way that gills start off, but they don't progress into them. Instead, they turn into something else. In fish, similar embryonic structures go on to form gills. In humans, they become different anatomical structures because, yeah, it takes a different path. So, I mean, not diminishing anything you said, but we just like to have common language.
Right.
So
Yeah,
potentially they could go either way.
Hey, I want to introduce a guest right quick. This is actually one of Broken's friends. Skog, how's it going?
Doing good. How are you?
Doing good. So right now we are discussing the fact that in early stages, humans reflect gills in the early embryonic stage.
Yeah. So here's my point. You're showing pictures of the pharyngeal bumps, which I would agree with. They're there. I got photos of them. But when you say that they're gill slits, just because you named that, or they did, not you personally, but just because they named that gill slits when they said that it's evolution. No, you got to prove that. You can't just make the claim that these are evolutionary remnants of gill slits, because I can show you the picture of the human embryo, and I can show you a picture of the fish embryo, and they do not look the same. So just to imply, and again, this is where Haeckel lied. I know you're not necessarily bringing him up, but this is the lie that he showed 150 years ago. Because these things look alike, this is what started this. We know that that's built on a lie. The human does not look like the fish embryo. So then, therefore, to hang on to the fact that these bumps that we have that later become parts of our jaw are now by default gill slits is just not supported by the evidence.
Well, I mean, first of all, the evidence says in fish, these glands would turn into gills.
But the fish don't have them like humans.
They would not.
Right. But again, the fish don't have them like the humans. So to say that in humans they turn into this and in fish they turn into that, but when we can look at the comparative pictures compared to fish and humans, they don't have them in the same way. And I can flip my camera around again and show you the actual photos if you'd like, if you need to see them again. But the fish don't have the same gill bumps, if you will, that the humans have. To say that if they're related and these are gill slits, then they should look like the fish, but they don't. And the fact that we're still hanging on to the fact that they're gill slits because they look like the fishes when they don't is Haeckel's lie 150 years ago.
Creation, do you remember when they...
Creation, I have to agree with Creation. I have to agree with him. I have to agree with you, dude. I really do.
That's fair. Do you remember Creation when Charlie Kirk was shown the picture of the dolphin embryo? I feel like you know that.
No, actually, I don't. Yeah, I don't know that. He was shown a picture of a dolphin embryo.
Yeah, and he was asking about the value of its life, and he got like all upset because he absolutely believed it was a human embryo because he couldn't tell the difference. So that just like is, I don't know.
Well, I don't want you guys to hear. I don't want you to hear what I'm not saying. Do things look sort of similar? Yeah, of course they do. I mean, they have like this. It looks like it has the beginning of a head, and then obviously you have the backbone. In most animals that I would imagine that have backbones, and I'm stating this from a place of ignorance. I'm just imagining this now. What I said earlier, I backed up. This I would imagine that most of your animals that have a backbone is going to start off like that. You're going to have a head. Because these are the structures that the rest of your body is built off of, right? All of your body parts are basically connected to your backbone. So we would expect your head and your backbone to your coccyx would form in most animals that have backbones. That doesn't prove common ancestor, though, just because they form this way. And again, if we're basing this off the way they look, we can show that they don't look alike. So if our evidence through embryology is just stating that they look alike, some things may look like more than others. I would grant that humans probably look more like dolphins in their embryonic stages, but dolphins don't have gill slits, and we're saying that we're comparing it to fish, not mammals. So if you want to say that mammals may look more similar, then you might have an argument, but you don't when it comes to fish.
I mean, that's technically great.
So-
It starts as a blastophore, which basically is the so we all start the same, you know?
Go ahead, Skog. I want to hear what you had to say.